back. The year was 2006 when the Congress government in Delhi proposed setting up of a waste-to-energy plant in the national capital. 6 years later, the plant becomes operational in Okhla. It was touted as a model waste-to-energy plant, which was processing 2,000 tons of waste daily and generating 23 megawatts of power. However, the celebration was short-lived, as just a week after the plant became operational, residents from nearby areas started complaining of dust accumulation on roads, cars, clothes, etc. This is when the trouble started to mount. In a 5-year-long investigation by the New York Times, it reveals that the pioneering plant is exposing 1 million people to the highly toxic emissions. These include significant high amount of cadmium, lead, manganese, arsenic, and also cobalt. All of these are hazardous substances, and long exposure of them could be fatal. The residue ash from the plant is also dumped in the residential area, which further makes the air poisonous. As per the reports, the plant continues to flout pollution rules despite multiple fines. In fact, ironically, the plant is run by Jindal Group in partnership with the Delhi civic body and is earning carbon credits, which represents emission reduction units. The civic body has reacted, saying that vested interests are behind the report.
As a resident over the years, what impacts of the waste-to-energy plant have you witnessed in a personal capacity?
Okay, so I have been living here since 2013, and I have been myself finding that my own energy levels have gone down, and I keep getting irritation in the eyes, foreign body sensation, a lot of itching, redness. There's a lot of throat irritation. I'm almost the whole day I'm gargling in between. And of course we have problems like a lot of black soot on the clothes, and so many times we can't even eat food without losing our dose. Because nowadays the headaches have really gone up, the cough is consistently there, and choking sensation is there. We are not going out for walks, we are all the time indoors. So it gets really worse in winters, but it is there throughout the year. So a very common thing that I find is in pregnant women, like they do have some breathlessness because of the changes, the growing fetus. But here I find that women they are all the time complaining of suffocation, breathlessness. I mean, all the symptoms of pregnancy get much worse because they are in this area.
In an ironic turn of events, a plant that was supposed to make headlines for its contribution towards green energy is now under the lens for alleged violations of environmental norms. Currently, we're standing ahead of the Okhla waste-to-energy plant here near Sukhdev Vihar. It's a residential area, and on your screens you'll be able to see the Timarpur Okhla waste generation incinerator. In fact, this plant processes around 2,000 megaton of municipal solid waste every day and generates some 25 megawatts of power. But what is concerning is a byproduct of burning the waste that is supplied by the municipal corporation is toxic ash, as heavy metals, and is polluted air that is emitted near residential areas. Now, residents and RWAs as well as environmentalists have been protesting for years, even before this specific plant was built, complaining of how the waste in the national capital is not conducive to be burnt in incinerators such as these on your screens. Now remember, the graded response action plan stage 2 by the Central Pollution Control Body CAQM is in action, as well as a campaign by the Delhi government against open burning of waste. However, so far we do not see a mention of waste incinerator plants like these in either the CAQM plan or in the plan of the Delhi government. These are all trucks filled with waste that are being supplied to the plant here. Remember, this is all mixed waste. It is not segregated, because of which independent lab testings by the New York Times has also found high levels of manganese, of arsenic, of cadmium that can not only cause respiratory illnesses but also birth defects in people. Even dioxins and furans, these chemical pollutants that are emitted through the incinerator here, is a big concern. There are 4 such waste-to-energy plants in the national capital, and all 4 of them have been under the lens time and again. This one specifically so because of its proximity to residential areas. Now remember, in the recent ruling, the Supreme Court had again asked the Central Pollution Control Body to check this plant for any environmental violations and report within 6 weeks. However, the Central Pollution Control Body has not filed that report. Earlier as well, the Delhi Pollution Control Committee had fined all 4 waste incinerator plants to the tune of 5 lakhs for environmental violations for not having these byproducts of toxic ash, dioxins and furans under the permissible levels, as well as a fine of 25 lakhs in fact was levied on this plant by the National Green Tribunal in 2017. There is already discussion of increasing the capacity of this plant, which is again run into a legal battle.
Well, there would be one point when we would look at this picture and think, wow, winter is here. And now we look at this image and say, oh gosh, winter is here, because this is not just fog, this is smog, and all of us are well versed with this. Delhi continues to breathe toxic air with AQI 350 in the very poor category. The air quality is likely to be in very poor category till November 14th. Meteorological conditions are likely to remain extremely unfavorable for effective dispersion of pollutants. An analysis by the Delhi Pollution Control Committee has revealed that after GRAP Stage 2 came into force on October 22nd, the average AQI has remained in the upper end of the very poor range across most of the 13 identified pollution hotspots. As per Delhi Environment Minister Gopal Rai, almost every year, Delhi's AQI goes to over 400, and there has been many days when the AQI went up to severe plus category. But this year, the AQI has gone up to severe category. He cited 3 primary factors behind this. Listen in.
दिल्ली के अंदर जो लगातार दीर्घकालिक प्रयास किए गए, विंटर एक्शन प्लान के माध्यम से जो तात्कालिक पहलकदमियां की जा रही हैं, चाहे वो डस्ट पोल्यूशन को नियंत्रित करने के लिए हो, चाहे वो व्हीकल पोल्यूशन को नियंत्रित करने के लिए हो, चाहे वो बायोमास बर्निंग के पोल्यूशन को नियंत्रित करने के लिए हो, उसके साथ साथ पिछले सालों की तुलना में पराली जलने की जो घटनाएं हैं उनमें भी काफी कमी आई है। और तीसरा फैक्टर कि अभी भी पिछले सालों की तुलना में जो टेम्परेचर है वो अभी भी थोड़ा थोड़ा गर्मी बना हुआ है। हल्का हवा की स्पीड भी बीच बीच में चल रही है।